Have you ever stared at your phone, hoping for a message that never comes, or wondered why a woman stops responding to your text or pulls away without giving you a reason? Why does this happen, and more importantly, what should you do about it? Should you pursue her and beg for her attention or leave? Is there a better way to handle this? Is there a better way to handle this that makes you feel in charge, emotionally strong, and even more attractive than before? When a woman ignores you, it's straightforward to feel rejected or confused. We often think that her silence says something about our worth, attractiveness, or value, but why should that be the case? Don't let someone else's actions control your emotions. What if she ignores you because of her own situation or mood? Instead of letting her silence control your emotions, what if you could use Stoic principles to turn the situation into a chance for growth and self-mastery? Emotional strength, detachment, and faith in oneself. You can handle this situation without getting upset. You don't need to chase after her approval or play games. You simply need to understand how to remain calm and in control regardless of her actions. Why her silence isn't about you. Why her silence isn't about you. Have you ever found yourself staring at your phone wondering why she hasn't texted back? Maybe you saw the typing bubble for a few seconds and then nothing. It's easy to feel rejected or anxious, right? You start replaying your last conversation, wondering if you said something wrong or if she's just lost interest in you. But let me tell you this. Her silence is probably not about you. When a woman goes quiet, it's important to remember that people's actions are often influenced by their own circumstances, not by a judgment of your worth. Imagine this scenario. You've been working long hours and feeling stressed. Maybe a friend or someone close to you reach out, but you're so caught up in your own world that you forget to respond. Does that mean you don't care about them? Of course not. It just means you were distracted or overwhelmed. It's exactly the same in a relationship. This is where Stoic thinking comes in handy. The Stoics believe that we can't control the actions of others, only our reactio to them. When a woman stops texting, you can't see games, but you can control how you respond, instead of panicking or assuming she's actions. Tone T. Keep in mind that her quiet is only a small part of the bigger picture. She might be experiencing personal stress or simply taking some time for herself. A book on a shelf collecting dust isn't useless. It's just no one is picking it up. Her silence doesn't make you less important. You should know that when you stop taking her quiet personally, you'll feel less anxious and more sure of yourself when you talk to her. 2. Don't let her be quiet. Don't let her silence break. We've all been there. A woman goes silent, and your mind starts racing. You might send her a message, then another, and then a third one to try to fix the problem, or let her know you're still interested. But here's the thing. The more you chase her, the more she'll pull away. This is the classic dynamic. When someone feels overwhelmed or pressured, their natural response is to pull away. If you're constantly chasing her, you're not interested in her. Instead of giving her the space to miss you or think about you on her own terms, you're annoying her. It's akin to someone persistently stalking you and attempting to engage in conversation. You find yourself drawn to someone who exudes calmness, confidence, and enjoyment of the moment without feeling suffocated. The same goes for relationships. The Stoics teach us to keep our emotions in check and not let outside events control our mood. When she stops responding, you shouldn't freak out. Take a step back, breathe, and remind yourself that you're okay. Don't worry too much about what's going on with her. Refusing to let her silence demonstrate your emotional stability is highly attractive to on-their-own women, as it demonstrates your ability to remain emotionally stable and not allow other people's moods to influence your own. If you let her silence affect you, you're giving her power over your emotions. But if you stay calm, keep your emotional balance and focus on your own life, you show that you're not someone who needs other people to make you happy. For example, if a woman goes silent, you might think that you need to do something to get her attention again. You might think that if I text her first, she'll respond, or if I apologize or explain myself, I'll win her back. But what if the best way to get her attention is to stop chasing her? Chase someone in early relationships, and they feel like you're not in charge of your life. Consider this. Individuals gravitate towards challenging situations when you're consistently accessible. If you're always texting and available for her, your value decreases, because you become easily manipulated. But if you step back, focus on your own life, and give her space, you create a sense of mystery. Imagine you're interested in a woman, but also very busy with your own goals, passions, and social life. You're not always available, and you're not in a hurry to respond to every message. You're not playing games. You're showing her that you have a life outside of her, which makes you more attractive. Women want someone who can take care of themselves and doesn't need their support. The Stoics believed in being self-sufficient. The Stoics believed that we shouldn't rely on external factors, such as other people's attention, to find happiness. When you stop focusing on her behavior and do things that make you happy, you change the script. Instead of her ignoring you because you're chasing her, you live your life on your terms. When you stop focusing on her behavior, you'll find that she starts focusing more on you. This is why giving her room makes her want you more. It might seem counterintuitive. The more you give a woman space, the more she might start to miss you, but it's true. The trick is to not be too eager or available all the time. Women, like everyone else, need their space. If you're always around texting, it becomes monotonous to maintain a constant presence. Remember a time when you were really into someone or something. It could have been a job, a hobby, or even a book. It held your attention longer when you focused on it, but after a break, you liked it more. Similarly, if you give her space, she will begin to appreciate your value. In a practical sense, this doesn't mean ignoring her or playing games. It means living your life in a way that doesn't revolve around her. When you stop trying to get her attention and focus on yourself, you become more attractive because you're not emotionally dependent on her. You're living your life pursuing your passions and enjoying your own journey, a concept the Stoics called indifference to external things, meaning that what other people do or don't do doesn't affect your happiness. When you give her space, she can appreciate you for who you are, not because you're always around to observe. Watch her come running, her come running. It may seem counterintuitive, but when you stop chasing her, you might just find that she starts chasing you. It's a strange twist of human nature. The more you back off, the more interested she might become. Think about this. When you're constantly available, always texting and showing her that you're eager, it can become draining for her. Everyone wants to feel like they have to work a little for something. If you're easy to get, she may lose interest, but when you focus on your own life and stop seeking her approval or attention, something shifts. Imagine you're at a social gathering, and there's someone who's constantly trying to talk to you, always seeking your attention. At first you might be polite, but eventually you'll get tired of them hovering around you. However, if there's someone who isn't chasing you down, who is just enjoying the event on their own terms, you'd probably be more drawn to them. That's the power of giving space, letting things come naturally. This dynamic is at the part of the law of attraction. The more independent you are, the more likely it is that she will start to think about you, wonder what you're doing, and maybe even reach out to you first. Your absence leaves a void, and people naturally want what they can't easily have. In real life, This doesn't mean you should avoid her or play mind games. It means you should focus on your own goals, career, hobbies, and social circle. The more you make your own life full and interesting, the more your partner will see that you're a man who doesn't need her for approval, confidence, or mental support. It's more likely that she'll want to be in your life if you act like you don't need her attention. The Stoics taught that our happiness shouldn't depend on other people or events, and this is also true in relationships. Don't need her attention to become a man who doesn't need anyone's approval. That's the most attractive trait. Let her not pay attention to you. Let's face it, when someone you care about ignores you, it feels personal. You feel rejected and unimportant, and sometimes you might even start to doubt your own worth. But here's the brutal truth. She doesn't care about you. If she ignores you, it's not a reflection of your value, but rather a fleeting event likely influenced by her own life. It's not a judgment on who you are as a person. If you've ever been too busy or stressed to answer a friend's text or family member's call, you weren't ignoring them on purpose. You were just dealing with your own life. Relationships are the same way. If she's not paying attention to you, it's likely because she's preoccupied with her own issues, such as work or family problems, or she simply needs some space. If she doesn't talk to you, it's because she's having her own problems. As the Stoics say, we can't change other people's actions, but we can change how we react to them. So, when she ignores you, don't let it bother you. Instead, don't let it make you feel negative about yourself or angry. Choose to stay cool and grounded. Although you can't change her behavior, you can change your response. When you maintain your composure when she ignores you, it demonstrates your emotional strength and maturity rather than your desperation. When you are not attempting to gain her approval or contemplating the errors that occurred, you maintain your composure. This emotional stability is very appealing. Women, like everyone else, are attracted to people who are stable no matter what. If you don't let her ignore you, it demonstrates your emotional independence, which enhances your attractiveness. 7. Reverse Turning Psychology 101. Around Psychology 101. People often want what they can't have. You can apply this concept in various aspects of life, such as dating and relationships. If you convey a lack of urgency for her attention, she may desire to spend more time with you. The key to reverse psychology isn't manipulation, it's changing the dynamic. If you always text first or make plans, she may want to spend time with you. Try stepping back for a while. When you're thinking about her, refrain from texting her instantly. Don't make plans right away. In order to shift the power balance so that you're not always pursuing her, you should avoid showing that you're too invested in the relationship. This will prompt her to question your lack of pursuit, thereby enhancing your attractiveness, as people tend to gravitate towards challenges. This isn't about playing games. It's just about making it so that she can't take you for granted. The Stoic view is that you control your actions, not hers. When you stop trying to get her attention all the time, you stop giving her power over you. Instead, you become someone who values their time and energy and doesn't chase someone who may not be mentally ready. Don't ever let anyone read your mind. Don't let everyone see what you do. Notice how some people are more intriguing than others. Those who withhold details about their lives may leave you wondering about their true nature. People like someone who seems to have more to offer. If you're too open and honest, you lose that element of mystery. A similar idea works for relationships. Balance is key in relationships. While it's important to avoid lying or playing games, it's also important to avoid overcommitting. Hold back a bit and give her a chance to earn your trust and attention. The best way to do this is to keep your thoughts, past, and plans to yourself. If you want to keep her guessing about the deeper parts of your personality and life, consider the philosophy of the Stoics. One of their main ideas was to hold back and be careful about what you reveal. They knew that emotional control and self-restraint led to peace and stability in relationships. If you don't tell her everything right away, you keep your own sense of mystery, which can make you much more attractive. For example, if she asks you a question, don't give her all the answers right away. Instead, give her just enough to pique her curiosity, but not enough to satisfy it completely. This makes her more interested in you and want to know more. The mystery will keep her interested and engaged. Remember that relationships shouldn't grow overnight, and you control when and how you reveal more of yourself. The link stays alive and exciting with surprise. 9. Do not need to be validated. Be the man who does, the guy who doesn't need to be praised. The world is full of people seeking validation, whether it's through likes on social media, compliments from others, or even attention from someone they care about. We all crave recognition and approval. It's a natural human instinct. But here's the catch. When you rely on external validation to feel good about yourself, you make your emotional state dependent on others, which is a risky game. Think of it like this. If you constantly seek her approval, you're essentially putting your emotional happiness in her hands. But when you are your own source of validation, you're immune to the ups and downs of other people's opinions. If she compliments you, great, appreciate it. But if she doesn't, it doesn't knock you down. You're still the same person regardless of her words or actions. This level of self-assurance is powerful. It shows that you don't need her to confirm your value. You already know your worth, and you're not waiting for her to tell you. This makes you incredibly attractive because confidence is magnetic. To build this inner confidence, start by acknowledging your strengths. Think about what makes you proud of yourself, your accomplishments and your goals. Then, make sure you take care of your physical, mental, and emotional health. You'll feel secure that no one can take away. Here is a simple task. When you're feeling insecure or unsure about how someone sees you, take a moment to think about your strengths. Think about what you've accomplished, what you stand for, and what makes you special. Let these thoughts fill you with pride. 10. Being confident in who you are is your best trait, not attitude. Being sure of yourself is your best tool. Imagine walking into a room and everyone is looking at you. It's not because you're the loudest or flashiest, but because of something about your presence. A calm, collected confidence that makes people feel like they can handle themselves and their surroundings. You haven't said a word, but everyone knows you're in charge. That's the power of being sure of yourself when meeting and in relationships. Being confident implies that you don't require external validation to feel good about yourself. You are mentally stable and comfortable in your own presence. This doesn't mean you don't need touch. It just means you don't need others to make you happy. From a Stoic perspective, you present your best self and don't wait for others to affirm your worth. When it comes to relationships, the only things you can control are your own actions, thoughts, and feelings. This is related to faith. Stoics didn't base their sense of self-worth on what other people thought of them. Instead, they worked on finding inner peace and mental strength. Building your confidence and sense of self will lessen the impact of factors such as her behavior, other people's opinions, or societal pressures. And confidence is a quiet strength. Knowing you're valuable made you more attractive and a better partner without being loud or showy. Being confident not only enables you to navigate the ups and downs of a relationship with grace, but it also draws others to you with a magnetic pull. In a relationship, true attraction isn't about chasing or seeking approval from others. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. These are the Stoic principles of emotional independence. To make romantic relationships, you need to have self-control and inner peace. If a woman ignores you, don't take it personally. Make it a chance to improve yourself and remind yourself that your worth is not based on others. Stop trying to please others and start living your life on your own terms, and people will naturally gravitate towards you. Building mental stability and self-sufficiency will make you the type of person who doesn't need to seek affection or attention. When you stop trying to impress and start living your true self, you'll attract people. In the end, relationships work best when both people are mentally stable and independent. So adopt a Stoic attitude. Focus on building your own life and happiness first, and the right connections will happen naturally. If you liked this video and want to see more like it, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We add 3 new videos every week, so there's always something new for you to find. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay up to date. See you next time.